She's Southern Gold, can't deny the way she moves. Like a Tennessee fire, smooth and slow. Everybody knows you gotta put her in a love song. She's Southern Gold, blow my mind, so beautiful. Make a grown man cry. There she goes.
So I'm not sure if I'm by myself when it comes to this, but whenever I'm in prep, I find myself shopping significantly more than I ever would when I'm in my off season. I don't know if it's just like to buy time or to buy excitement or just to buy anything that keeps my mind off of the suck of prep. Now, we have my dad in town. So that means, since I'm not somebody who is a fix-it themselves kind of person or put stuff together, we're gonna have an opportunity to not only buy something, but also have it installed or put in the same day. So a lot of times I'll buy something and then it just sits in the corner because I don't know how to put it together. So that's gonna change today.
They sell like rear speakers to kind of complete the home theater package, right? Here's the soundbar, right?
So do you need a subwoofer?
You don't need to, but it does make a huge difference.
So if I don't have a big area, would a subwoofer be too dramatic?
You'll still notice a huge difference.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not just like, everybody always thinks, you know, it's just like the booming, banging, right?
Yeah.
But even like right now, if you were listening to our voice with and without a subwoofer, you would notice a change in the pitch of our voice.
Okay.
So, you know, you can always turn it down so you don't have the booming, banging and everything, but it definitely makes a huge difference as far as reproducing, you know, the whole frequency range of sound.
So with football season being right around the corner, I'm right now investing in my ability to be lazy. I can't stress that enough. We're trying to get the best surround sound system in our living room. You guys will see, we're getting a brand new couch. The couch that I have right now are just simply focused towards like luxury, but they're not comfort. I am investing in my comfort. And this is the definition of a prep purchase. I want to be able to be lazy on my couch, wrapped up in my blanket with my dogs and pancakes. Like, that's my vision. So right now I'm investing in my future fat self. See if there's anything else I can buy. All right, so we just downloaded the Bose app, so we're gonna test out the speakers for the very first time. Now, I wanna give you guys like a brief overview of kind of like my vision for this. So I am a very big football fan, so I wanna make sure that like I almost feel like I'm in the stadium. Like, that's my mindset. So we have the Bose speaker soundbar here, and then I'm going to need to run this wire because this wire is like ugly, and we have like a very, very specific way that we like to feng shui our house and our living room. So like, I don't want wires to throw that off. So what we're gonna do is hopefully like have a wire ran through this wall. We're going to get a bracket that holds the sound bar, kind of like almost like a floating bracket. And then what we're gonna do is put the speakers, one all the way up here, and then another all the way up here. So then that's gonna kind of create that sound, like that surround sound effect while we're sitting here watching the football games. I told you guys earlier, I absolutely hate this setup. Like, I've always been somebody who likes like comfort over like just look, I guess. Like, comfort is everything to me, especially in my house. And I'm not a fan of these couches. So we're gonna get brand new couches. Like I said, just kind of like building for my future laziness. So let's test out these speakers and let's see if it's worth the money.
I'm telling you that I'm him, but it goes in one ear out the other. The Santorini, whatever you wish to be, your journey.
Hey Alex, hope you're okay, mate. It was great seeing you in India and obviously actually getting to speak to you. You look phenomenal up there. The only thing, if I could give feedback, just my honest opinion, is the conditioning. I think your flow and your shape is awesome for men's physique, and you can do very, very well, mate. I just think that condition now they're really, really pushing for condition. And I think if you nailed your condition, you would definitely be a force to be reckoned with. But then my competitive side of me is telling me to tell you to just keep on McDonald's, keep growing, get massive, outgrow the division, and then I can just reign for a bit longer. But and also thank you for the recent posts or stories like YouTube and whatnot about me. I know I keep myself to myself quite a lot, and I'm somebody who doesn't like shout out or get involved too much. But that's not because I'm not interested or anything like that. It's just how I keep in my zone, keep focused, and just, yeah, what's the word, like staying in my lane. But I do see it, and I appreciate the confidence in me. I promise you I'll do my very best this last 7 weeks to be undeniable again. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing year for Men's Physique. But yeah, look forward to it, and hopefully we'll keep in contact, and I will see you in 7 weeks, my man. Let's go.
You know, it's kind of crazy to think that just a handful of years ago, I was only a fan of bodybuilding. Like, I wasn't an active competitor. And it's really a full circle moment now that I have the ability to communicate with some of these guys who I look up to. You know, I will never forget when I was watching my very first ever Olympia, you know, seeing Jeremy Buendia, Brandon Hendrickson, you know, Sadiq, and Ryan Terry, you know, battling it out for that top spot. You know, and that was the reason why I wanted to, you know, throw my hat in the ring and see what I could do. Maybe one day share the stage with these guys, and, you know, who knows, you know, a handful of years later, it was me, you know, being on stage and rocking it out with some of the best in the world. And it's so cool because now I get an opportunity to actually have these conversations with the people who, you know, inspired me to even get on this stage in the first place. And, you know, just literally having these individual messages with Ryan and connecting with him. He's our current champion, man. This man has been through so much. You know, he was actually in India when he saw me compete, and I'll never forget, you know how you're on stage and you actually look out into the crowd and you can kind of see like what people are saying, like the judges. And he was like, he wasn't a judge, but he was like sitting up there with the judges panel. And I'll never forget, like, when he saw me, you could clearly like see his face just respond in positivity, just like, whoa, you know? And I remember being on stage and feeling that emotion and allowing that to fuel me to just be motivated on stage, you know? And I also knew like getting his feedback after the show was very important, you know, because, you know, obviously the show didn't necessarily go in our favor and there was a reason for it. And, you know, as much as I know that my potential is almost there, you know, having an extra eye who's been there, who's been through a lot of trials and tribulations in his own career, give me that extra, you know, motivation, feedback to get me to where I'm going. And not to mention, this man is a massive fan of the content, which is crazy. Like, I'm literally covering a lot of these guys and they're actually watching the content. You know, let that sink in. You know, it's so cool, man. I love this division. It's growing so much. And, you know, like I said, it's a really, really full circle moment for me to get these conversations and have the ability to connect with people like this.
Right, so that's kind of the thought process there. I don't touch a dollar from sponsorship money that goes to the pros, because my bread and butter is the vendors and tickets of the NBC, and I've always kept it like that. So as long as the pros get their money, 1,000% goes to them. Really, bro, it's really up to you. I'm open to do whatever. You want to get up on stage, you want to talk on stage, you guys want to be the official host for the podcast that weekend, and I could say Alex Toplyn, Aaron Banks, and Drew Cullen, official hosts for the official live stream hosts for the entire weekend, hosts of the Men's Physique Radio News. You know, we'll just put it up there like that. We can do that too. We can do whatever, bro. I mean, if there's an idea in your head as a promoter, if I can control it, I can flex with it, I can make it happen. That's kind of my thought process there.
I love it, man. Well, listen, I want you to consider this done. I'm going to talk to the guys. I can, you know, 99% tell you that, you know, we're locked in. The likely going to be my board short company in conjunction with Men's Physique Radio. And then what I'm going to actually try to do, because I talked to, I don't know if you know who Ali Bilal is, but he has a board short.
Yeah, I know Ali.
Yeah, so he's my good friend as well. And he talked about, hey, listen, whatever you guys do, I'll match it. And I want to be able to hype it up with our social media presences. And of course, the media team that we have that can really hopefully spark something, you know, bring eyes. And I think it can be something good. So nonetheless, we're interested 100%. You'll be hearing back from me no later by the end of the week. And then if you can just send over, you know, once I follow back up, you know, the contract or anything like that, then we'll be set.
Yes.
So I just got off the phone with one of the top promoters in the IFBB. I have a goal of sponsoring a show next year. I've been blessed in my life to build brands centered around fitness and centered around men's physique in specific. And I want to put my money where my mouth is. You know, I think it's really cool to see what the IFBB and some of the brands are doing in the IFBB by giving and donating money towards raising the prize money. But nobody has been doing that for men's physique yet. And we aren't the biggest, right? We don't have this money to throw, but we have to start somewhere. You know, so having this call, you know, aligning ourselves with a promoter that we're likely going to promote their show next year, we're not only going to do that, there's going to be a lot of cool opportunities with that. You know, we're doing it, man. You know, and this is not just Manifest. You know, this is also Men's Physique Radio. Like, Men's Physique Radio is going to put their money where our mouth is, and then Manifest is going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to come together and just focus on prioritizing adding value. And I'll be honest, man, this is nerve-wracking because I'm an athlete myself, right? And you got to be careful that you don't like blend like business and personal. And I want to make sure that we do things right, and I feel like we're doing things right. And I have Aaron Banks, who's somebody who is obviously a notable name. He's a champion. You know, we have Drew Cullen, another guy who is extremely well-spoken, really good with understanding the division and being able to, you know, give unbiased analysis. And we're going to allow all of the strengths that we have as a team, whether it's Men's Physique Radio or Manifest, to come together and add tons of value back to the Men's Physique division, utilizing this show. And it's crazy, man. You know, this is going to be our second show next season that not only are we promoting, but we're actually going to be commentating the show. Like, you're going to hear us on the lives, our thought processes, and it's going to be just almost like a live podcast, but obviously giving our thoughts back to the athletes and educating those who are watching. And then we're going to be raising the prize money for the actual Men's Physique division, you know, trying to get them more money in their pockets and just fall back on value, man. I'm so excited. I'm so nervous, but I'm really, really excited to be doing this. I've always wanted to, and now that I have the means and capability of doing it, I want to make sure that we do it the right way, you know, because it's one thing to say it, you know, it's one thing to do it from the comfort of your home, but to get uncomfortable and try to truly give back in ways where other people start to feel that value, you know, whether it's through their financials or awareness, it's everything. So Men's Physique Radio and Manifest sponsoring a future show very soon, coming up in 2025. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to change people.
My head's spinning like the wheels on my rollerblades. 'Cause your love's racing through my heart like it's got no brakes.
You know what's kind of crazy? Like, as you get older, your excitement levels for certain things completely change. Like, new vacuum cleaner. I will never forget how excited I was to get a new vacuum cleaner, a grill, and now our new couch. This is like probably one of the best investments that I've made in a long time. You know, ever since me and Megan started dating and we had our first apartment, we've always had like really nice, comfortable couches. But when we moved to the house here in Florida, we went with like more visually appealing rather than like overall comfort. And we regretted that decision like drastically. So now we reinvested back into the comfort side of things. L Couch, cannot wait to relax and just spend more time in the living room. Like we would never sit out here and watch TV because of how uncomfortable the couches were. Now we traded in like leather for, I don't even know, what kind of material is this? I don't even know. Comfy. But let's just call it comfy. You know, it's kind of crazy to think back from the decision I first ever made to start a bodybuilding prep. And that day was also a day that I had a goal to set out of stepping on the Olympia stage. And to think that that was only back in 2019, sitting in my college dorm room. You know, I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget that moment. You know, I called my dad. I then soon after contacted a coach for the first time, same coach who I'm with today. And it's kind of crazy to think that from that moment to where we are now, not only did we reach that goal of qualifying for the Olympia, not just once, but officially twice. And I think that version of me would have been so proud the current version of me, but the version of me now is so unsatisfied with where I currently am. You know, it's kind of crazy when you think back at it, right? The full spectrum of things, like where you started and now currently where you are, and in your head where you're going. But this moment, I wanted to make sure I slow down and actually take it in, because this is something that I dreamed about for so long. And I can tell you this much, man, the second time, it feels so much better than the first, especially after all the craziness that happened back in 2023 to get me to this point, to step on the 2024 Olympia. So we have the contract right in front of us here. And I'm looking at it with a smile, with nerves, excitement, and the 60th annual Olympia in Las Vegas. We're doing it, man. We're doing it. It's like I said, a full circle moment. So for the channel, for those of you who support it, who have watched the crazy ups and downs over my career, this one's for you guys. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make you proud in 7 weeks from now. It's 7 weeks, man. It's right around the corner. I'm going to the Olympia, baby. This one's for you guys. I appreciate y'all more than you know, man. And until the next video, see you at the Olympia.